Gwen, I am really excited to be in Blingspirations at the New Black Wall Street Market here with you to interview you for our first episode of the Incline. The show is really about Black businesses, entrepreneurs who are really focused on pushing forward, pushing to the top and how much it takes to get there. Because a lot of people, when they come into your store, I'm sure they see the end result.
Yes.
But it's a lot of background work that goes into this,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Before you came to the New Black Wall Street Market as a merchant, talk to me about how Gwen got started. What was the inspiration?
Well, the inspiration behind it is I like bling. So I was purchasing these shirts and I was having a little problem with them. I would lose some. And once you lose it, that's the focal point.
Right.
So you can't, it's really done. So I just started researching on my own. I thought, got interesting. I was trying to figure out how to fix what I had. And when I couldn't, you can't wear it anymore. So I just did research and it kind of just turned into a hobby that turned into something that people actually wanted and start asking about it. So,
but this is a real craft. Like
it is.
I don't think I could do these designs the way, because it takes a steady hand and it takes patience, right? Creativity.
It does.
Well.
It takes patience. But you could do it. I mean, you just have to want to do it. Me, I was interested in how they were being made. So that's how I kind of got started, but anyone could do it. Whether you have the patience or not, that's a totally different story.
Yeah. When I came here, so just a little bit of backstory. So, here at the New Black Wall Street Market, Gwen and I ran into each other. We have a backstory as it relates to our young children at the time. They were little boys. Gwen's husband was their coach for their basketball team. And, fast forward to today, our children are adults. Okay. And so to bump into her here at the New Black Wall Street Market, and you were in a smaller space here.
I was a couple of doors down, and seeing the customers, I kind of outgrew it and I knew I needed a bigger space. So
yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful place to come and visit. The creativity. And Gwen also does custom designs. So I am wearing, right? This is a shameless plug of mine. I am wearing my new brand, Be About Self-Care. And so I walked into Gwen's shop and I said, Gwen, do you do custom designs?
Yes.
So not only am I wearing one shirt, but I requested 3 of them. So I have a black one and I also have a white one, right? So I needed at least 3 shirts from Gwen, and it was excited to support her, as a thriving Black owned business.
And I appreciate it.
So Gwen, let's talk about business, because I think, again, you come into Blingspirations.
Correct. And
you see the bling and it's so exciting, right? Everything that you see, the colors, the shiny jewels that are on the shirts, it makes you happy. I would say
I've done my job.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Give me some of the testimonies when customers come into your shop.
Well, I've done my job if you can come into the shop and you're smiling when you come in, because that's part of how could you not smile when you're wearing something that looks as pretty as one of these rhinestone shirts? So that is one of the foremost things that I thought about, because when I wear it, it makes me feel good. So, and it's an easy work to after work wear. You can wear it anytime, but that is one of my things that the customers say and the thought process that I put behind it, because I shop for the best rhinestones and the quality of the rhinestones. A lot of people, they may not know the difference, but I can tell. And I get a lot of my customers is saying that they can tell my rhinestones from some of their other stuff. So other shirts. So that is one of the biggest things, that the quality of my shirts and the quality of my rhinestones.
So do you do classes? Do you ever?
I have done classes, and that is coming in the near future. But yes, I have done classes. I've even done a class on Michael's.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a national brand.
Yes. On a national brand. I've done a class with Michaels, and I've done 2 classes here. So at the New Black Wall Street, and when I moved into my space. So I do classes, and coming soon, we will be doing more of that here.
That's really cool.
Yes.
So, like we mentioned, outside of just the business part of it.
Yes.
Or outside of the feel good part of it.
Okay.
There's a business part of it.
There is.
And talk to me a little bit about that, because I think people get confused sometimes as it relates to, oh, you're doing great all the time. Your sales are up all the time. And that's just not a reality in retail, right? So you have to have a solid business model.
I wish. Listen, I wish.
Right.
But no, I think the main thing with this is to know retail is to know your avatar. And what I mean by avatar is to know your customer. Mm-hmm. When you realize who your customer is, you strive to go towards those customers. So when you get that, you just do things for that customer. And when I say no customers, I just don't mean a woman, because I have men who purchases rhinestone shirts as well. So when you get your avatar, you go from there. That's the age, where they work, where they live, how they live. You learn your customer. And I could say that to just about anyone who's in business, whether you're supplying a service or a product. You got to know your customer in order to strive. And you're right. There's ebbs and lows to all businesses.
Absolutely.
So, what I do, you take it in strive. Mm-hmm. There's good and there's bad, but that business side of it, you got to know how to maintain within those variations there.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. There's such differences between having a hobby.
Yes.
Some people have a hustle, and then there's business.
Yes.
Right. And so these are completely 3 different spaces.
Absolutely.
They can become the other.
Absolutely.
But they're not the same.
They're not. And I've been in all 3 of those spaces.
Right.
It was a hobby, and then it was a hustle, and then it became a business.
Absolutely.
And all of that, again, is a mindset. Mm-hmm. That's where your mindset is when you're doing a hobby. If it turns into a hustle, that's what you're doing. Mm-hmm. But to make a business is something that is sustainable. So yes, once I found out that I could do this as a business, that's what I've been able to do to sustain it. It's not easy, but you go through those steps. But not only am I just making t-shirts, rhinestone t-shirts, I'm learning business. You do that. You have to pour into yourself. You just can't start something because it's not that easy. Right. In order for it to maintain a business, you got to know how to price. You got to know how to price your products. Mm-hmm. You got to know how to source your products. So there's a lot of things that come into it. And of course, there's that tax thing.
Absolutely.
You
have to pay your taxes. You do.
You have to pay your taxes.
No one wants to hear that, right? No one wants to pay taxes, but when you're in business and you have a product, you got to pay taxes.
You got to pay taxes.
Right. So you have to factor all this into your accounting.
Absolutely.
So what's the next steps? As I mentioned, the incline is sort of that incline up the mountain. What are the next steps for Blingspirations?
Well, the next step is here I got into the New Black Wall Street. I'm looking to, I was in Perimeter Mall before I came to the New Black Wall Street, and now I'm venturing out again. You're hearing it first on Crystal's Incline. Yeah. I will be in the sister shop that is located in Atlantic Station.
Wonderful.
In Atlanta, Georgia, starting in March. My shirts will be in there. And I'm also in the Painted Tree in Snellville, Georgia, and Beaufort, Georgia. Okay. So it's just, my end goal is I'd love to have a bling t-shirt boutique.
Wonderful.
And
so you hear this, right?
I'm starting it now, but these are things that are on the list, and I'm striving for that. I mean, of course, I can't do it myself. Like you said, there's a lot of issues in the business part of it, but we're working through them, and we're growing. They're growing pains, but it's happening.
And they're appreciated. Growing pains are not always a negative.
You
turn them into positives.
You turn them into positives. Absolutely.
Well, Gwen, thank you so much for being on the first episode of The Incline with Crystal. And we wish you well. We're asking everyone, to come out to the New Black Wall Street Market. Support Gwen's business, Blingspirations by Gigi. You'll see that on the wall inside of this beautiful store. And then she's also expanding and she's in other stores. So she's serious about her business.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll see you the next time.